Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy
to Lexapro. Woo! My name is Chanel Shaw.
I'm Jasmyn Xavier.
This is our beautiful guest.
Say it.
Margaret.
She's like, I'm not going to tell you my last name.
Like,
don't follow me on Instagram.
Sorry, what? Not making her feel comfortable at all.
Hello, huh?
Say it. Say your name.
Say your name, full name, date of birth, social security number.
Okay, got it.
That's great. I'm glad you're ready.
I'm ready.
Margaret, tell us about you.
Yes. So I
right
am 27 years old. I was born and raised in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I just graduated with my master's degree in mental health counseling.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. Insert clap track there.
I know. Very exciting. Almost 3 years of my life behind a computer. And we did it. So
amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a golden retriever named Belle, who's the light of my life.
How old?
She's like 18 months.
No, she's a baby.
She's a baby.
So you know she's a baby because you're coming in months.
I know. I'm telling you about her like she's my actual
After this,
child
can you show
because
us
she
pictures?
is. Totally. Yes.
What's she like? What's her personality?
She's just the biggest goofball you'll ever meet.
She is.
Yeah, she's a little tornado, but then she's just so sweet at the same time. So
I love that.
yeah, she's motivated by human connection and food, and just speaks.
Aren't we all?
Speaks a lot, right?
That's such like a beautiful way to describe a pet. Like, she's motivated by human connection. Like, wow. Okay.
I'm like, my dog is needy and always wants to eat, but motivated by human connection.
That should
is
honestly
a good
be
reframe.
That should be my dating profile tagline. Like, motivated by human connection and food. I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
Update that Hinge profile.
I want to.
That's really
I want
inspiring.
to. Yeah.
That's the favorite quote I've heard in a long time.
In a long time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought long and hard about this. So
wow. So
that's beautiful.
I've already kind of thought of a nickname for you. So
okay,
okay, let's dive right in.
Because I know one other Margaret, and I always call her. That. Yeah, I always call her Margarine, and I just love it. So I'm gonna call you Margarine.
I like that
I
you were
received
like,
that.
So I'm gonna call you something different because I don't want you guys to have the same nickname. Like, I thought this was going in. I know another Margaret, so I have to call you something different.
No.
But you were like, I know another Margaret. I don't call her that. I call her Margarine. I'm also going to call you that.
calling you that.
Because
I just feel like it's special.
I just like every Margaret, just to be named Margarine.
Yeah.
So
that's a new one.
It was either Margarine or Margot. I was going to call you Margot after like Margot Robbie because
you didn't seem as into Margot.
But you didn't seem as
Margarine.
into that, like margarine.
Which one do you like better?
You like butter?
No, I do like
Which
butter.
one do you like better?
Which one do you like butter? Okay, perfect.
Margarine.
So margarine it is. Okay.
That's gotta be.
So Margarine, we're so excited to have you with us today. And
It's a pleasure.
Something that we want to just dive real into is like, we heard you have a boyfriend. How's that going?
It's going really well.
Love that. Here we get real, real fast.
I should have said I had boundaries.
You did say I'm pretty much open to talking about anything.
Did.
People
I
always
really
say that.
should have thought about that one, but
I just love that, Chanel, because I thought you were going to ask, why did you want to become a therapist? Like we talked about. And then
she's going off script.
I heard you have a boyfriend.
So just
tell me
right
about
in.
it.
Yeah.
How's it going? Can you tell me, like, what do you think was most important for you in a significant other? Like, what is like the thing that you were like, this is so important to me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll discuss if your significant other has it, but like, that's something else. Maybe say something listening.
Gosh, it's hard to pick just one, but
you can give us like a variety.
Yeah, I think like just someone who has like a gentle nature. I really trust that.
Say that he was like that in the kitchen.
Good sign. Good sign.
Yeah, good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Just like generally gives off the vibe of like being respectful. Like to strangers, to like family, to their friends. I think being a really good friend is something I also look for. Of like, are you able to keep up other relationships in your life? It's important.
That's good.
Those are pro tips.
There are a few.
Those are pro tips.
So Follow me for more dating advice.
There it is. Follow
me.
Margarine at Butter Relationships. And so,
oh my gosh, if you have like a private practice, it should be Margarine's Butter Relationships.
Wow.
I would totally be like,
I would register.
Baby, we need to have couples therapy from Margarine.
Yeah.
She's going to teach us how to be butter.
Make our relationship better.
Okay. I'll start the website tomorrow. Look out.
There it is.
Chanel and I would come for friends therapy.
Like market brand. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's it. That's your niche.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to discuss the logo. We'll discuss that after the show. This is good.
This is good.
This is good.
I feel
anyway,
like
so you're a therapist. Tell us
yes.
your therapist origin story.
My origin story. Oh my gosh. It goes way back, which I think is cool. Is that like the seeds were planted over time. But I was in college, like not really sure what I wanted to do with my life. Classic. Yeah, and I just had met so many people who were like in counseling or like had their own struggles with mental health, and it just wasn't something I'd like heard about or like that people really talked about. And so I just got super interested in psychology, but I was like, I just don't know what to do with this. And so later throughout life, I worked in youth ministry, and it was really like through that I saw just like how many people were like coming to me as like a touch point of like, hey, my daughter's like having anxiety at school. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm just the youth minister. Like, I can pray with her, I suppose. Like, I don't know. This is not my wheelhouse. But I was always super interested in it, of like wanting to help them more. And so, yeah, but I think too, that's really what sold me on it, of like, okay, I just need to bite the bullet of like, planning youth nights is fun and all, but really I just want to be with people one-on-one all day long. And my wonderful coworker was like, hey, that does exist as a job. And I was like, oh, weird, maybe I should go do that. And so that was where it really like solidified for me. But I feel like too, just so much of like my own counseling journey was a part of it. So like I think it was right before my senior year of college, I just had like so much anxiety like that summer, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like I had never had panic attacks before, and I was like, I truly don't know where this is coming from. And so like starting my own counseling journey, I was like, all right, we're just gonna do like the quick fix. I'm just gonna learn like some things about anxiety, like just some good coping skills, like put it in my tool belt. We'll be moving along in like 2 months tops. And then just like really going on like a whole like healing journey. I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. So my counselor is just like so wonderful, and it's like changed my life of like, oh my gosh, I do need a boundary in my life. I didn't know that this was like a thing. No one taught me this before, and so it just has been such a beautiful journey that I was like, I want to do this for other people, because I just like loved therapy so much. And so it was kind of a mix of a lot of different things. So kind of culminated in COVID. I was like, let's just change the whole life around, there it is.
There was no time like that.
And you said that you were working on branding, but you already did it. You had a whole life rebrand. You just did that, baby.
Rebranded your life.
Yeah, you've just rebranded. Wow.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I love that story.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know that you can't, go to therapy with your friends. So I guess
you just kind of do it for free when you talk to them on the phone.
No, literally.
Chanel will be like, if
therapy
I Venmo
sessions
you
have I sucked out of
$20,
you?
can I tell you something? I'm like, you can just tell me something.
Tell me, because we're friends.
You don't have to. And she was like, I feel bad. I'm like, just tell me.
Because I feel bad because I'm like asking you to like help me.
I'm asking you to work a little. Yeah, like, it's okay.
But the thing about Jasmyn is she will never like. Her sister and I always joke that when you're like, so Jasmyn, what do you think? Like, she'll immediately be like, well, what do you think is? And I'm like,
I know.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, boo, dude, come on. I'm like, tell me what
give me the dirt.
Know why? Because I have too much power in our relationships. Like, if they ask me, what should I do? And I say it. It doesn't matter what they thought or what feels right. They're like just gonna do what I said.
Is this becoming a therapy session? Are you guys good?
I think it is. I don't think we're okay. Just kidding. We're good. But she just knows I won't say it.
Yeah. And I'm like, come on.
I'll just say, you have everything you need inside of you. You know exactly what you want to do. And you're making it so clear to me what you want to do that it hurts. If she has perpetually been like, I don't know what to do, but she's clearly said to me what she wants to do, I'm like, you've said this, this, and this. What do you think that means? And then she's like, oh, I know what I want to do. I'm like,
girl, you got it all right there.
So, she has it right there. She's so smart.
So the point is find friends that will motivate you, but find friends better than these two that will actually tell you what to do. Because
hey, I'm indecisive as heck on my own.
And you don't want to figure things out by yourself. Yeah. Don't be friends with Jasmine because she just will never tell you what to do.
Would not recommend.
If you don't want to be independent, self-sufficient.
Don't be friends with therapists because it is just like it is something else
out there.
It is
stuff out there, you know.
It's tough for sure.
You get it. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. Well,
let's do some stories.
Yeah, let's like ride right in. So we have a couple really poppin' stories today.
Yes. Wait, should we do our anti-depressing Catholic news before we do a story?
Yeah, that's usually like the order,
that's the
right?
formula,
yeah,
right?
Hit us with like
that's the formula.
Yeah, that is the formula.
Okay, anti-depressing Catholic news. I absolutely didn't prep you for this, so take a second to think. Okay. If you have anything, but as you know, the part where we talk about anything that's happened in the Catholic Church, small scale, big scale, that isn't sad. Have you had a recent experience in Catholic circles that was positive that you want to share with us? She's like, positive.
No. You said small scale, large scale.
It can be literally the smallest thing.
Okay, like personal life sort of situation. Okay, perfect. So two of my really good friends from grad school, we bonded throughout the time, and grad school is fun because it's like my friend in Ohio and my friend in Nebraska, and I'm like, we would have never met otherwise, so fun. So yeah, we were on FaceTime the other week, and I just think it was like so cool because we were both all three of us were just able to talk about like just our struggles of just like, is it okay to like be struggling in this way? And so it's just like a really cool moment of talking about like things that are in the culture of like being Catholic, or like, everyone at mass like veils, and I don't know if I can like not do that, and that's okay. And so just all these things that like all these like additional pressures that we can put on ourselves. And it's like we just never talked about that. And so we just talked about just like open the door to that of like, what does it actually mean to be Catholic, and like getting at like the root of that, and so it's just really beautiful.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it was just really cool because I think it was like on all of our like hearts of like, I don't know, like, is it okay for me to like be asking these questions? Or like, we're all here. Wait a minute. So it's a cool way of like connection,
That's beautiful.
Just like getting to the heart of like,
it's okay.
What is it about?
So in today's like good Catholic news, it's okay to ask some questions. It's okay to have some
be
doubts.
Where you are,
It's okay to be where you are.
And when you share those, you might find out that your friends are in the same spot.
It is.
Wait a minute.
Might just get some
so
answers.
beautiful to have good Catholic friendships that you can be open like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. That's great.
Consolation is the key to life.
Thank you.
Yeah,
wow. Thank you.
I love that.
Shout out. Big shout out. So
shout out to friends.
You
keep our world going around, except for when you don't tell us what we need to do when we present you with
my gosh, start the
such
story.
a therapist friend apparently.
Literally going to turn into a therapy session.
Just kind of
we joked about her being our couple's therapist.
I'm like, wait a minute,
it's about to happen.
It's going down that road.
She's sitting between us. I'm like, this is already bad posture for us.
I know.
This is rough. We didn't want to sit next to each other.
I know.
Anyway, stories.
Moving right along.
Launch right in. You're like, anyway,
I need to rub this.
I gotta go home. So, moving right along, our first story of the day is about the Bachelorette. Don't worry, you guys. We will be doing a full Bachelorette recap, so don't stress.
We know it's what you.
Don't stress. It's what the people want.
Thank you so much. It's going to be a little delayed because we need to record it with my husband.
Yeah, but you wake up.
It's going to be worth it.
You wake up. You pray. You eat. You go to mass. You watch the Bachelorette. We know that's the schedule. Don't worry about it. So our first story is about the Bachelorette. We are going to be talking about this moment that has, it
taken the world by storm.
It took the world by storm. It was probably the most dramatic season ever. And
the most dramatic season yet.
And Jasmyn and I, mouth agape when we saw this in real life. Like, couldn't even.
Chanel was baking cookies in the kitchen. She was like, "What did he just say?"
Hold on.
It was crazy.
Burning the cookies.
It was nuts.
To hear this.
So my question is like, do we want to play it? Do we
just
want
play it on your phone? We'll watch it. And
do we want to like watch
play
it?
For
And
the
then
people.
do we want to? Okay, got it. So we're just gonna, so some context for everyone listening. Xavier was on this season of The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful gentleman. From where? Presumably. Allegedly.
We don't know.
From where? I don't know. I kind of forgot.
I don't remember, but he does like medical research.
He does medical research. Yeah, he knits.
He so knits. Wholesome.
On the surface,
evidently.
Yeah.
So
he won the
wholesome.
hearts of millions,
but
trillions. But wait. So as you all know that are listening, I root for everybody black, right? So he's black. I was like, okay, whatever. Don't even care what he does. I'm into it. So, but then until Charity, they were at the final three fantasy suites, y'all. Which we all know. I mean, we could have a whole episode on our opinions on fantasy suites. But fantasy suites happen. Okay. They're sitting down before and they're talking. And Xavier talks about how he just doesn't know if he can be faithful to Charity. So let's roll the clip.
Let's roll it.
Let's roll this clip. Will a commercial play first? Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody want some Cheez-Its?
Cheez-Its? I actually love Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its doesn't sponsor this show.
That's targeted for me talking to you about Cheez-Its, probably.
Got it. Yeah. Probably. The FBI agent in my phone is like, buy some Cheez-Its.
Get them for
Feeling the cheesiest. Okay, here we go.
I'd love to see it.
All right.
I hold this card. Not because I doubt you, but because I believe in you.
I need to be 100% confident in his ability to trust himself, to be loyal. I'm not asking for anything more.
But I need to know that you're going to do what it takes for you to show up for me. Like, you're going to put in the work. Like, you're going to make it work. Without a doubt. It's only going to work if you want it to work. So, will you do that? Will you do that for us?
It has to be no doubt and 100% certainty for me to do that. And in my heart, there is not any doubt. But in my mind, there is that doubt.
Sorry, what?
And for me to get to that point, that has to happen tonight.
I need to know more. That's what he said. That's all.
I need to see more.
Okay.
1:30. That's what we need to do. Okay. I just want to hear your immediate thoughts. That's what I want to hear.
I hate it. I just feel like
I hate it here. I don't feel safe.
I just don't understand what he's saying. You know, it's like just being so wishy-washy, and I'm like, okay, your heart is saying this and your head is saying this, and I know we talk about that of like the head and the heart and whatnot, but it's like, what is your decision? Like, this is not early on. It's like engagement is coming, you know?
Engagement is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner in like 2 weeks, you know? But yeah, so it just like is mind-boggling to me that it's just like not a clear answer. I need to see more. What do you need to see?
Of what?
Of what?
That's a little not it, Xavier.
It's not it.
Jasmyn, when we were watching it live,
I'm still like,
we were watching it live. We were sitting at the table next to them. What? I mean,
I'm choking.
I still
Like,
some of my favorite parts about that whole thing.
Yeah, please.
Was watching Charity's face, because
when she did this,
as a woman, as a woman,
like, yes, ma'am.
As a woman of more advanced melanin, right? an interesting thing that happens when we immediately make a decision about people.
Yep.
And my favorite thing about that clip was watching, and for those of you that didn't see her face, I guess you'll have to watch this on YouTube. Boop. Watching Charity's face just immediately make a choice and say, like, I'm actually
you can
sending
see the
you home.
moment
You can see the
she
moment that
decides,
she's like,
when she's
absolutely
like,
not. Yeah,
and then she's like, I need a minute to
doing
think.
it.
But you're like, you didn't.
You didn't actually
didn't.
need some time to
And
think.
then she had this
You
moment
know.
where she's like, I really think I could see a second chance. I'm like, baby girl, we all knew minutes
swear.
ago.
And
that
then
you
she's
weren't
like,
into it.
I'm going to take you to this car. I'm going to walk you to
Yep.
the car. I'm going to let
She's
you
like,
go,
it's
babes.
It's the
good.
best.
Yeah.
It's
So
good.
like, but it's
Yeah.
crazy because as I was watching it with you, you know, when we were at my house, I was thinking like, I don't know if I could handle, like, I think through if someone said, I just want to see more, right? Implying like, okay, we got to go to Fantasy Suites and like check what the vibe is. I would
For me to decide
I would absolutely,
if I won't cheat on you in our marriage.
the way that my self-esteem is set up, I just don't think I would be able to
Immediately
even handle-
know.
I would immediately
Yeah.
know. Because then imagine like the follow-up, right? Because, and so many thoughts. I think you said this at my house, but like some woman like had to say, sure. Like that had to have worked before
Yep.
for
Oh
it to be
my
presented as
gosh.
an option again.
Yes.
So then like thinking about in his mind, what was his follow-up that he thought was going to happen? Like,
He thought she was going to be like, this is great.
and then the
It's
next
fine.
day be like,
Yeah.
all right, so like thoughts? Like,
Yeah, the after
what?
fantasy suites, he was
But
just
yes,
like,
yeah.
I'm not into it.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, huh?
What was the long-term goal? What I
So that's my
thought
thoughts,
of the
crazy.
entire
Yeah.
time we watched it. Because for those of you, it doesn't say in the clip. So if you didn't watch it, right before this, he had told her that he cheated on his ex-girlfriend after 2 years of them being together. Charity's big thing was like in her last relationship, but everybody knows, like she talks about it on Zach's season, that she was cheated on again and again in a 6-year relationship and kept giving him chances. And then this guy was like, I'm going to get down to final 3. And then real quick, I'm going to mention, dated a girl for 2 years, went on a guy's trip, got a little crazy. And then say to her, it's going to be pretty hard to be faithful in a marriage. I would do it for the right person. And you seem to be the right person. But it's, if I go on
still
a
have
trip.
doubts.
Yeah, I still have doubts. And like, if I go on a trip with the guys, it's going to be really hard to not cheat on you. Chanel was like, if Steven would have said to you when you were engaged, like,
my
it's going to be
gosh.
really hard to not cheat on you in our marriage.
I'm sorry.
Pass.
That's crazy to say
Yeah.
that to someone. That's
Crazy.
so crazy.
I'll take not a
So
loser for
crazy.
$300.
There it is. That's so crazy.
And it's
It's
like,
insanity.
yeah, it's just kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you know what else is hard? Paying bills. You know what else is hard?
hard
Remembering
stuff
to
in life.
floss.
Waking
But these are all
okay?
things that
You
people
just
do. You know
do.
what else is hard? My life. But people do it every day. They wake up and they live and they freaking grind.
Yep.
And they don't cheat on their spouses. So
They
honestly,
just, they just do
like-
their
it's
jobs and
just
they go
not
home.
that hard.
they just don't. They do their
Yeah.
jobs. They
Oh my
go
God.
home and they're faithful. And it's crazy
It's
to
not
me.
that serious. Chanel was like, you're going to like slip and fall and cheat on her? Like, what are you saying? That it's like going to be
And
hard.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the connection of like, oh, okay, like, okay. And this is probably a deeper conversation of like, okay, if you cheat, oh, whatever.
And forgiveness and all of that.
Forgiveness
That's not what
and
we're
all of
talking
that.
about.
That's
right
not what
now.
we're talking about right
We're
now.
talking about this guy.
We're talking about
Right.
this man, and we're talking about
Yeah.
how sensitive it made me feel.
Mm-hmm,
And the thought is, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if you can't say to me, and I'm curious, Margarine, like what you think. If
Yeah.
someone
sorry.
can't,
Margarine
she
gets
loves
me every
it.
time.
She loves it.
Okay.
If
It's her favorite thing.
someone can't say, it's her favorite. If someone can't say to you, like, I really feel committed to this, like mentally,
Yeah.
bodily, like I'm yours.
Like they can't give
This
a
is
for
it.
sure.
Right.
They're kind of
Like if someone can't give you a for sure, is there any way that is like a negotiable? Like, is there any way?
Yeah,
that
what
you-
is like your advice
what-
for like,
yeah, like
if
what-
a person
if
is
a
in a
person is
relationship
like-
with someone and they're like, I'm not sure if I could really fully commit,
But like,
we could
I
try
really
it.
like you. We connect. We watch the
Yeah.
same shows. Like, I don't know. Maybe we play a sport.
But
whatever.
we could try it. What
We
would
could
you
try it.
What would your
like, we
advice be?
connect.
Like if someone came to me saying that, or
Yeah, it's
someone
like
else.
a client
Yeah.
was like, hey, I've got the significant other
yeah,
and whatever, or maybe a friend. Just give us what you would
Yeah.
say. What's like your advice on that?
I would just like wonder what more they needed to know. Like, are there conversations that you feel like are like need to be had, or, you know, like what would get you to the point of like knowing, you know, like what's, because there's so much like uncertainty in this life that we just have to manage and deal with. But it's like, what's the barrier, you know, is sort of the question, I think. So it's like, you know, are you able to like kind of pinpoint, or is it just kind of you're just being wishy-washy?
Yes.
You know?
So you feel like maybe in that moment where he was like, I need to see more, she should have been like, what specifically
what
are
more?
you saying you need to see?
And then I bet
That
you
makes
he would have
sense.
been like, oh, you know, I need to feel
He
a
would have been
deeper
nuanced,
connection.
but like,
I need to feel a deeper
but then
connection.
that's an answer. Like not answering is an answer. Like him not being able to tell you specifically
I just need to see more.
Is flighty, you know?
And what gets me too is, this wasn't in the clip, but earlier he had mentioned something of like, yeah, I try to like make my girlfriend like what I wanted her to be. It's like kind of gave off some like controlling vibes.
Yeah.
And so then I cheated on her. And so then it's like, I need to see more. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, that same like controlling, like coercive, manipulative.
Like he wanted to know she was going to be able to kind of like fit into his mold of what he wanted.
I don't know, of like kind of putting it on her of like, I need to see more from you though, for me to like know.
You need to prove yourself.
It's like,
ooh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's giving scary.
That's giving
that
scary.
scared
Yeah,
me.
that's
I was
giving
like, that's
scary.
kind of coming through here.
Yeah, that is giving scary. When someone says
So-
like, oh, I just need to know, like, I need you to show me that you are worth my time. Interesting though, because people do say things like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
not like a
too.
bad thing to be like, I need to be proven to that like this is worth an investment.
But to be like, I need to decide if you're fitting into my scheme of exactly who I think you should be.
Ooh.
That's not
Okay,
it, you
okay.
know?
That's
Like
not
that's
it.
different than being like, I need to decide if we're compatible, if I'm good for you, if you're good for me, but not like, I need to decide if you are good enough for all this. Like that's was his energy.
Wow.
You know who I'm happy for? Let me
Okay.
say
Yep.
it. Leaving that episode,
Yep.
him going home.
Yep.
I was like, I just want
We're
to
about to say the same thing.
pour a little glass of wine
Yep.
Yes.
for his ex-girlfriend
Yep.
who got to watch that
Righteous.
and be like,
Righteous. I was
this
literally
man
about to say
cheated
that.
on me.
Righteous.
And now he's being sent home.
Righteous.
Like he should.
Yep.
And I also was like, wow, if Charity keeps him, that girl better find her and tell her like this is what it is. Because I would have been like, okay, give me her number.
Yeah.
Give me your ex-girlfriend's number.
Let me know what's
Tell
up.
me about it. Let me chat with her. Let's figure out the real story here. But I feel like she just had to have thrown the greatest party of a lifetime and just been so thankful that Charity didn't have to live like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get real petty.
She
for her.
deserved it.
Gave a round of applause when she said, and I will. When he's like, you can put me in this car. She's like,
She's like, and I will.
And
I
I was
know.
like,
I knew.
yeah.
That,
Standing
that
ovation
she
for
was like,
me. I was like,
And
let's
something about
go.
me
let's do it.
Yeah.
Put him in a car. That was it.
I'm gonna
That's
get
it.
real
Send
petty
him
real quick before we go to this next like
I would love
story. Okay. And something that I saw is on TikTok because what else does Chanel do? I saw this woman, speaking of ex-girlfriends, that posted and asked people what did they do to their ex significant others that cheated on them. What did they do to get back to them, get back at them? Obviously, we believe in forgiveness, reconciliation, conversion.
That's not what this is about right now.
But there were some crazy things, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
So I'm
on
gonna
a
just
surface
read a
level,
few.
Let's
Like,
hear
So
it.
I'm going to read
interested.
it.
I know.
So here we go.
I'm here for
These are some of
redemption,
just
but
my
let's go.
favorites, and I hope that Xavier's ex-girlfriend got to do some of these things.
Okay.
Okay. Set up his Alexa to play Eye of a Tiger at 4 a.m. Okay. Took a paintbrush dipped in tuna water and painted the underside of his dresser. He'll never know where that smell comes from. Okay.
That is
my
legendary.
Here we
That's
go.
amazing.
I found out that he cheated on me. Didn't tell him for a week. I used to put jalapeno seeds in his food, but none in mine, and tell him to stop being dramatic because mine's not spicy. I gaslighted him out of our relationship. Okay, so I just need everybody to know that, like, I absolutely love this. Okay, I'm just gonna read just a few more. Okay. Poked tiny needle-sized holes in the bottom of all his shoes. When it rained, his socks got soaked. These are the kind of
That's
just like,
so-
That's
like
a long-term
but
plan.
this is
That's
like
a long-term
mega
plan.
mind
They're
type
thinking,
torture.
yeah.
Like these are like, one girl said, you just need to do things that are so small
Yeah.
But that'll kind of
that'll
No,
kind
like
of
slash
ruin
and
his life.
tires
You
and just
take
slowly-
like my favorite one
Yeah.
was you take that thing underneath the spinning glass tray in the microwave that makes the plate spin. so he'll never know. And you can't buy those. You have to buy a whole new microwave. That was one of my favorite ones. Okay. All right. Just like two more. Just two more. Okay. Here we go. Because
Just two more. This is madness.
because I love it. Okay.
So women will do anything.
Women will do anything. And this one woman said,
so
we are the
true.
definition of they go low, we go lower, which absolutely. Okay. Here we go. Someone said, take the Wi-Fi password sticker off his router so he'll never know what his Wi-Fi password is.
Vibes.
Poured multiple boxes of instant potatoes in his grass before it rained. Amazingly hard to clean up. Okay.
That is
Here we go.
so funny.
Crickets from the pet store and released them in his car. Put glitter in every liquid bottle in the house. Body wash, shampoo, laundry detergent, hand soap, cleaning supplies, everything.
That is, he will never get rid of that.
Signed
my
him up for
gosh.
dozens of magazine subscriptions and check bill me later. Okay. Pour some tuna juice. Okay, tuna's really having a moment. Poured some tuna juice
Stock up
under
on
the
tuna.
car seats in the heat of Texas. She lives in Texas.
Oh, gross.
All right. And last one.
That
Here
one
we go.
is so personal.
Yeah,
we go.
that hurts.
Okay. Go.
No.
Super. Okay, this is like something that I would do because this is so just like insane. Okay. Super glued all his tub and sink stoppers closed so that he would have to scoop the water out with a bowl into the toilet every time he got clean. That is just the level of commitment to the bit. So anyway, I just absolutely love it. And I hope that Xavier's ex-girlfriend just got to do at least one of those.
I hope she got what she deserved.
Yeah, because I hope
And I hope he gets what he
I
deserves.
hope he gets exactly what he deserves because we were shocked and that was crazy.
Too
shocking.
stunned to speak.
And so,
I
yeah.
don't believe
Too
it.
stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for letting me share some of those. That like really made my day. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely love it. Here we go. Oh, wait, favorite one. Took the labels off all the cans in his pantry.
I'll never know.
That's never know what any of the food is. He has to open all of it.
I would be like
gosh.
shaking it, like to sound like
Beans.
beans.
So what, do you just throw it away? Like, can you start
so
over?
funny. I just
Oh my
open it all.
gosh.
Absolutely.
Open it all.
Absolutely.
Open it.
But I think
don't know.
the biggest takeaway from all of this
That
is that
so funny.
we're so happy. We're very pro good mental health, right? And we're
Yep.
happy that Charity took care of herself
Yep.
and that she recognized in that moment that Xavier couldn't give her what she wanted,
Yeah.
which
He was
was
not ready to.
a faithful partner.
Yep.
I guess that was too much to ask.
That is
So
big ass.
moving on
Bars
to
on the floor.
Ladies really want it all these
So,
days.
I know the
Oh
bar
my
is in
gosh.
purgatory for real. So moving on to our second story,
Yes.
speaking of faithful partners, Zendaya and Tom Holland share about keeping their relationship private and sacred and protecting their peace. So Zendaya and Tom Holland have been dating for quite a bit, and in a recent interview, Tom Holland gave some insight into his relationship, more than he
they
ever
never
has,
do.
which he
Yeah.
never does. And he just talked about how he cooks for Zendaya sometimes and how she's met his family and how he really loves her and he's happy to be in a relationship with her. But he doesn't talk about her anymore because he says he wants to keep things sacred and private and personal. So speaking of that, what are y'all's thoughts on keeping parts of your relationships? We know that, you know, on social media, people share a lot. There's like constant sharing. I mean, I know like when your boyfriend last sneezed essentially in 2023. So it's like, how do we, what do you guys think about like protecting peace and keeping things sacred? I feel like with celebrities at least, I feel like they just owe me it. Like sometimes when I see Tom and Zendaya, I'm like, no, but you owe me this. Like I bought a ticket to Spider-Man.
You were Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I bought this access to your life. I'm
So it's
paying for your mansion.
Exactly. So
Right.
like, I don't know.
I
Like
helped
what are
fund
y'all's
that.
thoughts on that? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think that's so sweet. I mean, I'm nosy as heck, and so I love like knowing all the details and all the
Same.
information.
Retweet.
But I do think there's something beautiful about that, especially like for celebrities, you know. So I love that, and I think it is important to like look at those boundaries, just of like, I don't know, you don't have to share everything all the time, and I think social media has changed that for us all. But I think there's something like special about just having those things that like only you know about your relationship and things like that, you know. If there's like shady stuff going on, maybe some people should be in the know, but like if it's sweet and good and healthy and you want to keep it sacred. I love the word sacred. I was like, that is so sweet. So yeah, I support it 100%.
Love that.
That's
stamp
really
of approval. We should have like
there it
a
is. Therapist
gavel
stamp.
or like a stamp sound. Yeah.
That.
Finally.
Approved.
Exactly.
So,
Stamp of approval.
It's approved. Yeah,
Jasmine,
I
know
love
that you are the queen of like sacredness and
the queen of sacredness.
Sacredness and,
Back up,
and personal boundary. You were the queen
of sacredness.
You were. I know that you were born without sin. So like I, you know, I'm curious about like what your thoughts are because you like keep things hecka private. You know, you talked about how when Jasmine was pregnant with her second daughter, I mean, there are people in this world that don't even know that Joy exists because it wasn't on social media. It's just like she just had a kid.
Just had a
How
kid.
dare she?
She
owed
you
her.
just
How
did
dare
that
she?
and didn't post
People are
100
so
pictures.
offended.
Yeah,
People were
so
offended.
rebellious. So what do you think?
I love this. I love the idea of like there are certain things that are sacred. Something that I'm big on. I have two thoughts. One, Chanel and I talk about this a lot, but when people like overpost about their husband, wife, it's mainly we see like wives doing it for their husbands. Where it'll be his birthday and they're like, "Happy birthday, you dumb idiot!" And they're like, "Another year of you having the best wife to clean up your dirty socks. Like you are so blessed. I don't even know. Like you got another year with me."
All seen those though.
And Chanel's like, "How long do you think their marriage is gonna last?"
Yeah,
and we like
because they'll be
predict
like, "There's no one that I'd rather trudge through this burning hellscape of marriage than you." And you're
been
like,
like
"Oh my
a
lord!"
year.
And it's so yeah.
Oh no.
And it's sad. And it's
It
sad.
is,
And
yeah.
so that to me is like a major that makes me sad. And so hearing people who are like, "Hey, no, like I actually don't want to share openly about what's happening with me and my partner like that." I love that. And then something else that I'm pretty passionate about, like obviously we don't really use social media at all, me and my husband, but especially boundaries around like what we just talk about with other people. Like our big thing is like I will never talk bad about my husband to other people about like anything serious. Like there's never been like we got in a big fight and I went and called one of my friends. We don't call like our parents about it. We don't call like we don't really fight because we have pretty good communication, which is great, you know, like obviously, but there are kids, we have kids, there things happen and we'll have disagreements. But our initial instinct, we really work to like not reach out to people. Like Chanel and I have been friends for 10 years. And like, I really have never been like, you'll never guess what Steven did. Like, it's just not the move. Because I think the thing people don't realize is like, if Chanel was married and Chanel called me and was like, my husband did this thing. Then like an hour later, her husband might be like, "Hey, this is because this thing that happened in my life and I was triggered and I responded in that way." And then she, because she loves him and has empathy and endless compassion for this person, could be like, "Oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. I'm so sorry. I was probably triggered by this, and that." And they can have a conversation and then it might have ended up not being a big deal. Yeah. But what I heard was your husband said this and now I don't like that dude. Yeah. Like I don't
You're hanging on to it for your life.
I'm not going to move on as quickly as you did. And like your family and your friends are never going to move on as quickly as you do because they're not in love with that person and they love you. And so anybody hurting you is like a war crime.
Protective.
Yes. And
like
so
war crime.
that is like the scary thing is when you go and like rant about anyone, your significant other, one of your friends, whatever, to somebody who loves you, then like they think that person is like not okay.
To get them.
Yeah. And then there's really no convincing them otherwise. You know,
and the journey to come back to that person, you know, I've had relationships where, you know, not many, praise be to God, I'm not like a gossip, y'all, don't worry. But I've had, relationships where I've shared with Jasmine, I've been like, dang, like this friend said this or did this and whatever. And then like, you know, some time later, Jasmine will be like, "So how's so-and-so or whatever?" I'm like, "It was good. We actually talked about it and blah, blah, whatever." And she's like, "That's good." But I know that like Jasmine will always be like,
a little
like, okay.
Suspicious.
And like, same for me on the same end where like, you know, with Jasmine's sister that I love very much, you know, she'll share things with me. And even if she comes back later and she's like, "Oh yeah, but like, yeah, now like we got to talk and like we whatever, and I'm like,
I
don't know.
Especially with your little sister. Chanel and I both have a lot of people in my sister's life. We're like, don't talk to them. Don't talk about
like
them.
it.
We don't want to hear about it. They're mean.
Like it one bit.
If they like do one thing wrong.
Yeah.
But it is
totally.
So
yeah,
and I
people like
imagine
that.
in a world where like everyone feels like they owe them, you know, a part of their life. Love and connection is so important and so intimate that it's like I really can't share this context with you all.
Yes.
Like, and one of my dear friends was talking to me the other day, and he was saying like, you know, he runs a business and they have like a social media policy, and he was saying that when they share with their employees about their policy, he's like, essentially what we say is this: we are a business that believes this. So when you post things that might be on the contrary perceivably from other people on your social media, there is no context or nuance on social media.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows like what, like everyone could take anything the way that they want to.
Yep.
And so it's like in a world where things like you're judged in the court of public opinion so fast, it does not matter if you circle back 10 or 20 times and you're like, no, this is what I meant. People have made a decision. So if you have things that matter to you and that are intimate to you, just like keep it to you.
You need to protect it.
You need to protect it because it's like you don't owe people that, and you also shouldn't give people that much of a benefit of the doubt that they're going to understand.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know the deeper context of why, you know, like Stephen might feel sad about something, but you do. And that's great because that makes sense for you as his wife, you know?
And
so like,
shouldn't need to make
and it
sense
shouldn't need to
anybody.
make sense to me because I care about him as a dear friend, but I'm like, oh, well, this is the primary relationship, you know? And so it's just interesting. So I really respect them. And especially as like, you know, Tom and Zendaya both being very private people. It's interesting because I respect him, but then in that same interview, he did share like 2 stories about her, and I was like, more, we want more.
Yeah, give people what they want.
So, like, in the same breath, he was like, I want to keep things private, but I was like, no, but like, tell us.
Yeah,
I was like, does Zendaya wear like a sleep nightgown, or
What does she wear to bed?
what's her skin routine? Yeah, it's like tell us.
Yeah,
exactly. So so I love it. So I love it. So
pure.
For our final story, you guys, we're rolling.
We're doing great.
This freaking rocks.
Life is great.
I love margarine. So
We
for our final story, we are talking about the Jonas Brothers. Again, don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. It's not going to be about the Jonas Brothers. I promise. Okay.
You just said we're going to talk about the Jonas Brothers, and you said, don't worry, it's not.
No, but it's not like primarily about the Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
You're just a launching off point. Don't stress.
Segue.
Okay.
Intro.
Major segue.
You're doing great.
Yeah. So the Jonas Brothers had their concert. Don't worry. And they had a song called Little Bird, which is about their daughters. And it's very cute. And it's just about how they are raising their daughters. And one day their daughters are going to have somebody else whose arms they run into. And they're just going to grow up and fly away. And it's very like, oh my gosh, it's a very emotional song.
Sad.
It's sad. And
Chanel played it for my husband. We have 2 daughters. And he was like, I'm
Unwell.
not. Chanel, that was not
rude.
nice.
Should have come with a warning. Like,
it's a very
sad.
like girl dad song, but I think it's like so beautiful.
So sweet.
I'm glad that Stephen listened to it. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
But it was like it's a beautiful song. So at their concert, they had someone that came that had a little sign that said, if you could play Little Bird for my little bird in heaven. Her daughter had passed away. So they played that song, and the daughter's name was Valentina, and who is Kevin's daughter's name. And so Kevin was crying while they were playing it. And it was just like super emotional, right?
I have endless chills. I might cry on the
It
podcast.
was like super emotional,
I'm
right?
like
And
a
beautiful.
bodily response.
And under the, you know, that viral video, people were just talking about how music can be such a beautiful, you know, communicator of like deep emotion that, and you can connect, right? Because that song is about their daughters kind of growing up and having a spouse or having a boyfriend or having a job or whatever, being away from them, you know, but it meant something different to this other woman and meant something different to everybody listening. So my question is, what is a song for you guys that kind of like gets you into an emotional space that might not make sense to other people. Slash there is no slash.
Song?
Any song, because I have a song in mind that really gets me in a space that if I were to tell people like that song gets me going and I will cry. I feel like people just might be like, you
a song
need to
that
seek
gets
professional help.
specifically emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like I can go
vibes.
first and give you guys
Sad
time
vibes?
to think about it.
Yeah, I think I
so
need
like
some time.
yours.
my song is
I'm getting some.
High School Musical from High School Musical 3.
I love it already.
It's time to take my medication, y'all. Seek professional help if you need it. So
And Alexa Pro.
so my song is High School Musical from High School Musical 3.
And
for those
I
that
love it
don't
already.
For those that don't know it, do you like High School Musical?
I just watched all of them like 2 weeks ago.
Only the real ones get it.
Only the real ones get it. So in
She
High School
is a real
Musical
one.
3, she is a real one. In High School Musical 3, it's the last movie, and they're
Oh my
all
gosh,
like
I'm,
singing
getting
together.
emotional.
I know.
The
I'm
last scene where you just see all.
say it.
And they're all singing together, and they're like,
Yes. And they just like give you a close up of each, all like the 6 main people. And you're like, what I was here in my
so
eye.
they're all
It's
singing
fake.
together.
It's fake, but it's so
It's
real.
not a real one. And
It's
so
so
they're like,
real. Oh
High
my
School Musical, and whatever. And they're like, High School Musical. And it like,
Oh, when it breaks down.
Yes.
High
yeah.
School Musical.
drums.
And you're watching it, as someone that has been
Oh, I
watching
need to
High
watch
School
it.
Musical
Oh
for your
my
whole
God.
life.
Whole life.
And so you're
And now
watching.
you're grown.
And now
Yeah.
you're
You're
grown
getting
up. Because
grown.
I got that. I rented that movie from the library the day before I graduated from high school.
my
So I like
gosh.
watched it, and I'm sitting in my living
How
room.
did
And
you
you-
I am
survive?
and I had like
That
been
is so
watching
sad.
and I had been like watching High School
idea.
Musical
The whole
like
time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching them, and it's like, I want the rest of my life to feel just like and you're like, dang, they're not in high school
oh
anymore.
my
And you're like, neither am I. And so then you watch it go across their face, and they're like, High School Musical, and it's like going across each of their face, and they're like waving and
yes,
like
yes,
saying
yes.
goodbye to you, and you're like, dang, dude. Like, and that song, I will cry. Like, if someone played that clip, like if someone played that
can
clip,
see it
I would cry
entirely,
like
yeah.
right now. You like
That
you
song
could
makes
see
me
it.
I'm like in that space. I need it.
I know. I'm getting
We're gonna
emotional.
need like a pick me up after
I'm
this.
getting
I'm
sad.
like, oh god.
And
We're
so-
gonna hit that ice cream hard.
feeling
we are,
sad.
we are. And so that is mine. Like High School Musical from High School Musical 3.
oh my god.
It just like gets me every
I
single
can't even
time.
think of that one.
I just like
I can't even top
even-
that.
I know, I can't
Like,
even
that just
speak.
took me
Can't
in that.
I can't
like,
even speak.
I can't even believe it. If
Do
you
you
guys
have
need
one?
time, I could
Because I'm
also
not
think of
gonna
another
know.
one.
No, don't think of it.
No, I also know another one.
No,
Not
I'm
even
already
think.
emotional for the
Got it.
first
I
Okay,
need time to recover.
you ready? My
Tell us
other
your
one.
other one, yeah.
Yeah,
I
sure,
can't
sure.
think of another. I'm
I
literally
can't.
stunned by your first one.
Okay,
I'm sad.
my other
There's
one is another
oh my
Disney D
Channel
track.
or
Okay,
something.
yeah. So in Hannah Montana the movie, which
Stop it.
No, this could be mine. But say it.
okay, in Hannah Montana the movie, well, there's a wealth, a richness of songs to play, but when it's why did you just slip me? When she's on the date with that guy, and she's like trying to change and then like go back.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in
What
like
is
the
the
revolving
song,
door
though?
I don't
thing.
remember. So, not that one though. That's not what I'm thinking.
No,
Oh,
I think
no.
you're thinking
I'm
of-
thinking of.
Taylor Swift.
I'm thinking of Crazier.
Crazier.
What am I thinking of?
Crazier gets me.
Crazier. Okay.
Crazier.
So Crazier, the best song in that movie, I would say. Besides that song that Rascal Flatts sings, that like I can't remember. Life is Highway. What do they sing?
They
That's
do not
Cars.
sing
It's a highway.
No, I know what you mean.
What do they sing? I don't know. I want to.
What do they sing?
What do
in
they
that?
sing
What
in that
is
movie?
that? I
Something
need to go
about
listen
a
to the
kid-
soundtrack on
Isn't
my
it something about
phone.
growing up?
Every long lost dream.
Let me
to where
Oh,
you
that song
are.
could make me. Could a lot of songs make me cry?
Yeah.
I'm learning a
So-
lot about
but
myself right now.
It's
Crazier-
emotional.
But
not doing
Crazier by
okay.
Taylor Swift is one of the best songs ever written.
Yeah, chills.
Chills.
The
And
ultimate wedding dance
at the
song
end when
for
she's
anybody
like,
getting
you
married."
lift my feet off the ground, you spin me around. I'm like, oh my God. Because I remember like being in early
Yep.
high school.
Yeah, being
and
like,
just
I
being
want to
like,
feel like this.
yeah, like you make me
Yeah.
crazier. Like feels like I'm falling and I'm lost in your arms. Like what? you know,
so beautiful.
and it was just
For
so
Hannah Montana.
for a Hannah Montana movie.
Yeah.
Like songs shouldn't hit that deep. Like that song and I Want the Rest of My Life to Feel Just Like a High School Musical. Like songs that make us reflect on the lack of permanency of life. Like it shouldn't hit that deep, you know. And so those are probably
Disney
my
Channel movies.
Wow.
Are
you ready?
No.
Okay, I'll do it. I feel like I could think of a lot, but the immediate one that came to mind as soon as you brought up Miley Cyrus is from the last song.
Yeah.
What even is the name of that song? When the waves are flooding the shore. Oh,
You
so
play
good.
that song a lot.
That song gets me.
That's
and
when
then I look at you. It's like sad.
Dude.
And the other day I was at the beach and playing that song because I always play that song when I get to the beach. And I shared it on our Anti-Depressing Instagram story. But I started recording it, and like as I was like, I look at you, I had panned the camera, and Joy had like run into the ocean right as it said that. And then I was like, I'm crying. I'm crying.
I'm done.
Because then I
I'm
was like,
done
oh, that's
now.
actually really sad when you listen to that song and you like think about your kids. It's sad. That song is sad vibes. That gets me emotional.
Yeah.
I never really listen to it unless I'm at the beach, which is like not really fun. But I don't even listen to it. I just think of
the
it.
The context of that song in that movie is like extremely sad.
Extremely sad. But I
so
always think
sad.
of it when I get to the beach. I'm like, you can't not. You see the waves and you're like, oh,
I'm in the last
it.
song.
I'm all of a sudden singing a little Miley Cyrus.
That is it.
What are you gonna do?
Wow.
Do you have one?
Oh my gosh. I mean, and
Margarine, that's okay.
I mean, like,
You're safe here.
let's be real. Any and all Taylor Swift ever.
There it is. Do you have an
that is-
album that like gets you in your feels? Do you have a certain song, certain era?
Oh my gosh. Whenever I'm feeling moody, I put on Folklore.
Oh, that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's
I
how you
think
know
too,
you're a
I
moody
associate it
girl.
with like COVID times too, because it came out during COVID.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's just like
Really
a
being
lot of
deep
feelings.
in the feels.
Have you listened to the
Yeah.
August cinematic version from The Summer I Turned Pretty?
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
That one
We're
is
gonna
gonna
have to
give you
listen to
chills. That
before
one
you go
makes me
home.
Okay,
sad.
yeah, there's only a couple of these left in August. We got to live it up.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude.
gosh,
Because
you're
at the
right.
end, she's like,
Gosh.
wanting was enough. And you're
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's
And it's like
kills
so
me.
there's like
For the
so
hope
much
of it
like
all. Yeah,
orchestra.
exactly.
It's beautiful.
yeah,
Wow.
dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really
You know
good
what song
gosh.
actually makes us sad?
What?
Olivia Rodrigo's.
Which one?
Which
What is
one?
the
I
song
know,
where
this
she's
song's a
like,
bummer.
and you're always like, what more do they want from us? When she's talking about like the that's
just so I
Traitor.
can call you mine.
Oh,
Like,
that's what
dang.
Chanel every time is like, we do so many stupid things for men. We do favorite crime. Because
that
really,
song
I
is
mean,
so
girls have been
sad,
there.
man.
Like, I do
Totally.
so many things
Yeah.
just for you to be like, oh yeah, that's it. That's my girl.
That's it.
It's like the things we do.
Just so I could call you mine.
Yep.
Just so you can break up with me for that blonde girl.
Yeah,
But I just got
there
my
it is.
driver's license.
Just so you can still not decide if you want to be with me, Xavier. Just for you to
everything
take
is
your
full
time.
circle.
Everything
Like,
comes
full
back to
circle.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Everything is providence.
It's giving
Put
August
some-
vibes too. They
There
both
it
have the same
is.
energy.
Wow.
You know.
Put some like
So
little
true.
like micro glitter on top of his fan blades and then wait for him to turn the fan on. He'll never be able to clean his house again.
Ooh, that's a
a
good
really
one.
Because you
good
can't
idea.
suck up glitter. Like you
anywhere.
can't sell your house.
Glitter anywhere.
Yeah. You put glitter in his exhaust.
just burn
and
your
he puts his
house.
AC on. He'll never be able to clean his house again.
Wow.
Or
you're
his car.
actually really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we believe in
Locked
love and
and loaded.
forgiveness and
We
whatever.
believe in it.
Yeah.
We're
so-
You
definitely
need some good
Yeah.
revenge.
You guys, I
Glitter.
feel like we really hit relationships hard today, and
We
I
did.
loved
Thank you
it.
for being here
Thank
and
you for
sharing your
being here.
expertise
Yeah,
and your good
Yeah.
it was
vibes.
a pleasure.
I love
was a
this.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Marjorie.
Oh my
You are
gosh,
the bagel.
Margarine.
You are the margarine to our bagel. So thank you.
Wow.
So
You are
much.
the margarine. You are the bagel.
You are the bagel.
Am I the bagel or the
margarine to our
margarine?
Margarine to our toast.
Wow.
So thank you
It's
so
been
much.
a
for being
pleasure.
here. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
pleasure.
You're a gift.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Big fan.
Everyone,
Friendship.
thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for being here.
Close us
So
out,
good.
girls.
Smash that like button. Follow us on Instagram.
Tell your friends about us. Affirm us on social media
Listen to us.
Do it.
Answer our questions.
because the world is depressing, but we
we
are
are
not. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.